Hi, my name is Cynthia Wakio. I am the Communication and Events Manager at Corporate Staffing Services. Today we are going to be talking about top mistakes companies make when managing employee performance. And I am joined by Mr. Pamina Swainaina, who is going to be taking us through this topic. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Cynthia.
All right, so how do you effectively measure employee performance?
That's a very good question, Cynthia. So, for any organization to succeed, whether you're a one-man show or woman, whether you're an SME or you've been there for very many years, performance management is very important. And so, whenever we think about performance management, people think about the performance appraisals, that come either semi-annual or at the end of the year. But there's more to performance management. It's something that you should entrench in the organization by making sure that you have systems supporting you. And performance appraisal is just one aspect of performance management. Yeah.
All right, so take us through the common employee performance measures.
So before I even take you through the common measures, I think the starting point, the thing we need to look at it, what is the starting point? And for me, I do help a lot of organizations in the area of performance management. And the starting point is, do you have the right person on board? You could have the best system on board, Cynthia. But if you don't have the employee with the right qualifications, with the right skills, with the right attitude, then it doesn't matter how strong your systems are.
Yeah.
So for me, it starts with recruitment. So if you have the right person on board and you support them as much as possible, because there's nothing like 100% employee, just like even as employers, there are one or two things that we need to improve on. So the question is, do I have the right person on board? Then am I offering them the right support that they need to succeed?
Yes.
The right support could be the resources, it could be the work environment, it could be making sure that the pay is also within the market rate. Now, after you've done this, look at your house as an employer. How do you have the right systems to support good performance management?
Yeah.
Now, you'll find some of us employers, we don't have job descriptions, or if they are there, they are not updated. You'll also find those job descriptions, they don't have KPIs. And this is the main mistakes companies make when it comes to setting performance standards and performance management. Because if you don't have job descriptions and you don't have KPIs, key performance indicators, you're not going anywhere. Yeah. You can have the best employee, but even the best employees, they need to be guided. There needs to be a reference point. When you're interacting and requesting for this person to deliver, there must be a reference point. And it so happens that when this employee joins within the first 1 week or latest 2 weeks, that's something you should provide to them, have a sit down and say, Cynthia, this will be your KPIs, this is your job description, and this is how I'm going to measure. Yeah, so we complicate. I feel a lot of times we complicate, and I know maybe because I have the HR background, maybe that's why it comes easy to me. But a lot of time, those are the basics, and if you don't have them, unfortunately, you're not going to go far.
Yeah. Besides what you've just mentioned, are there other top mistakes that come to mind in your experience?
Now, I would say if you have that as a strong foundation, then you find it much easier.
Yeah.
Because now the next step that follows is after you've put in the systems, how do you do the performance management? And this is where appraisal comes in. So, for example, if you are a client, we do support clients in terms of coming up with the templates, in terms of coming up with the KPIs. We help them with all that. Yeah. But then it should not just be performance management for the sake of it. Because you find, again, a lot of employers, we focus on the people who are not doing well. And we are very fast. We either fire them, give them warning letters. But we also forget there are people who are doing their best. There are people who are going over and beyond. So the question is to ask yourself, and this is where a policy comes in. If someone does well, what do you do for them? Is there a salary increase? Is there a bonus? Do you pay them commissions? Are there incentives? Do they get running opportunities? So let's not just focus. And I know human nature, the tendency is to look at the negatives, to look at the Cynthias of this world, just to use you as an example of the people who may not be working. And then we are very good at giving them warning letters or PIPs, performance improvement plan, and such kind of things. But I feel it should be balanced. The ones who do well, they should really feel they're doing well and the company is there to support them. Even the ones who are not doing well, before we even take action is ask ourselves, why is this person not performing? And again, if you've done all you could as an employer, then it goes without saying you can take separation is also a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned coming to an expert like yourself to help with this. What other channels can one use to ensure that these mistakes do not happen?
The other performance management, I started by saying, is very critical in an organization. So empower managers. So managers must be trained on how to set KPIs.
Yes.
They must be trained on how to appraise the employees, because the fact that someone is a manager, it does not mean that they have that skill, Cynthia.
Yeah.
And this is a mistake we make, especially the SMEs, the medium-sized firms. We assume because Cynthia is a manager, she should know that this is what is done. I remember even you, the other day we were discussing, how do you come up with a salary increase letter? I mean, you've never done it, and there's
Yes.
always a first time, so you should be guided on how to go about it. So even if you have the HR supporting you, even if you have external parties, and this is where would come in, managers, they need to be empowered now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And when we come to look at the law, what does the law say about performance management?
Now, very, very good question. The days of just firing someone because they've dropped the ball once, they are long gone. So, yes, I'll use you as an example. If you're not performing, the courts will want to know, what did I do as an employer
Yeah.
to ensure that I remedy the situation? So that is why there's something called performance improvement plan. So if you're a decent employer, you put someone under PIP. And what this means is we sit down, I tell you, Cynthia, I've looked at your performance for the last 6 months. These are the areas that you're falling short. And this is what I would want you to improve on, and I'm giving you this time period. However, I would say it also depends on the level of employee. If someone has only been there during probation period, you don't have to go through the PAP process. Because if they joined and you give them strict KPIs and you agreed and they've not been able to meet during probation, you can give them as the reason of not confirming them. Yeah, that's allowed. But if an employee has been there for you 6 months, you've already confirmed them, they're permanent employee in quotes, then PAP is where it comes in, where you say, I'm not happy with your performance, I'm giving you a chance.
Yes.
Yeah. And those are documents which can be used in the court of law. The employer needs to sign, he also needs to sign. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Your face lit up when you were talking about the law.
Yeah, because we mess up, and for both parties, I would say, for employees and the employer, we mess up. And it's like they say, it's because of we don't have the knowledge, expertise, but the courts, like they say, ignorance of law is not it's not an excuse. Yeah.
Final thoughts when it comes to managing employee performance?
I think when it comes to performance, we need to be intentional. Any successful company out there, they didn't just wake up and became successful. It's because they've invested in systems, in procedures. They are not two ways about it. So if you are watching this, you're a manager or a business owner, and you're frustrated that you're not making money, that your staff keep leaving, they are not performing, the buck stops with you as an employer. What systems have you put in place? Because if you don't have system in place, there always be all this chaos. Yes, that is why. Can you imagine if this country didn't have a constitution? Even where we come from, our households, there's a sort of unwritten constitution. We know when to have supper. We know the people we want to invite in our house. It's unwritten somehow, isn't it?
Yes, true. Yeah.
So successful companies, they have systems.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing expertise.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for watching this video. For more information about performance management, please click on the link below. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do, and we'll see you next time.